So I have this old lawnmower, and it's pretty old, and I'm completely unaware of the history behind it. I got it from my mother-in-law's garage, so it might be Angie's family's lawnmower. I'm sorry, Angie. If I owe you money, let me know. This lawnmower is in good shape, has an unknown history. I have never even flipped it upside down to look at it, so the blade's probably in questionable shape. The grass isn't really cutting right. It's getting chopped off kind of funny. Doesn't look quite right. And lots of times the grass just blows over or folds over, so it's not getting cut off the way it's supposed to get cut off. So I think it's time to sharpen the blade. So first things first, flip the lawnmower over. I believe you're supposed to have the air filter side up so the gas doesn't spill into it. I don't know if I did it right. This is what I did. Didn't spill any gas, and the lawnmower fired right up when I was done, so I think I did it right. As you flip it over, really important to remember to remove the spark plug. Lots of injuries occur from people working on the bottom of their lawnmower and the blade turning on. And what's happening is you're jump starting the lawnmower. If you flick that blade hard enough, it's like push starting a car. So you go outside and you push start a car really hard, and it's in first gear, it will fire up. Same thing with a lawnmower. So if the plug is on and you flick that blade too hard, you could fire that blade up and lose your entire damn hand. While you're underneath the lawnmower, clean all the crap off. As you can see here, I'm cleaning years of garbage off this lawnmower. I converted the lawnmower over to a mulcher. I just covered the door up, which isn't really converting it, but whatever, that's what I did. So there's a lot of garbage stuck in there. Scrape all that crap out. Once I scraped all it out, it's like 5 pounds of garbage, so bonus, the lawnmower's lighter. After you're done scraping your lawnmower, have a drink. Now we gotta loosen the blade. I've read online that you should jam a block of wood in there, and it'll make it easier for you to get the nut off. However, I just grabbed onto it with my gloved hand, the blade, because it was dull as shit anyhow, and then I used my other hand to crank against it, and the bolt came right off, so I didn't have any problems with it. It looks like it's a well-maintained mower, so that's probably why. Before you have the blade completely off, grab a Sharpie or something and mark which side is facing you on the blade, because if you put the blade on upside down and you go outside and mow your lawn, you're not going to mow your lawn, you're just going to be giving it swirlies. Once I got the blade off, I wanted to sand it, and all I have is a belt sander. So what I did was I took some clamps. I have these Tecton adjustable clamps. These are knockoffs you can get on Amazon. They're probably Chinese made. They're not like your normal clamps. They're backwards. If you haven't noticed, other clamps are like this. These are like this. So they're weird, but man, they're cheap. So I just basically take some clamps and clamp down my belt sander. And that sort of gives me a very cheap, poor man's version of a full-size belt sander. I have, I want to say like 80 grit sandpaper. So something really, really heavy duty, something really rough. Because if you notice the blade looks like hell. It's been through a lot. It's got a lot of dents and chips in it, and it's in need of truing up. So it's really important to keep a 45-degree angle. A lot of your chef's knives and house knives, those have a more severe angle. But your generic outdoor lawnmower blade, keep it at 45. Keep it flat on one side and 45 on the other to get your dings and dents out. And don't take away too much material, because you don't want the blade to be heavier on one side than the other. That'll take it out of balance, and the lawnmower will shake when you're trying to use it, and that's just going to destroy your motor. So make sure you don't take too much material off, but take enough off to get rid of the big pits and dents and dings and all the nonsense to make the blade sharp. When you're grinding, you're going to find that the blade gets hot. You're going to want to quench it every once in a while, that is, cool it down. I keep a bucket nearby, so just grind away, dunk it in the bucket, and then I'll get it from being too hot. And if it does get too hot, it's going to destroy the tempering on the blade. And if you destroy the tempering, it's going to very easily fracture or break, or I don't want to say explode, but it's going to break like glass, you know? So don't destroy your tempering, and make sure you're cooling your blade as you're sharpening it. And really, your blade shouldn't get so sharp when you're sanding it that it's too hot to hold. So keep that in mind. If it's that hot, you're pushing too hard, you're trying too hard. Now, it's time to remount that thing. Before we do anything, grab some WD-40, squirt it in the hole. You want to be able to put the bolt in and tighten it down, but you don't want to seize the bolt in there. So it might get rusty or dirty, dust. You don't want this to be a problem in the future when you take it off. Blast some WD-40 in there, then start putting your blade back on. Be sure to lube yourself throughout. That helps the entire process go a lot smoother. Make sure your blade goes back on the right direction. Earlier I mentioned that you need to mark it, so make sure you notice the mark on there and put it back on right. Otherwise you've wasted a ton of time. Then put your nut back on there and tighten it down. Now you don't want to tighten it down so hard that you're never going to get it off. Tighten it till it's snug. Not too tight, not too loose, you know, that in-between zone that I can't really describe. Yeah, I should probably bust out the torque wrench, but I'm not going to. Now put your lawnmower back on the ground and be extra sure to use your back and your neck to put it on the ground, because if you use your knees whatsoever, you're going to give yourself diabetes. At this point, remember to put the spark plug plier back on, because you'll look stupid when you're out in your front yard cranking this thing 10, 20, 30, 40 times because the spark plug wire is not in there. I would not know that from experience. Just saying. You remember all that crap that we scraped off the bottom of the lawnmower? Put that in a bucket, take it to your compost. Now at this point, we can finally go outside and test and see what we've done. Once you fire your lawnmower up, you're going to find that your grass, little squirrel heads, earthworms, they're all going to be cut with the greatest of ease now. So, go nuts! Sweet. So that video's done now. I'm going to partake in more of these. Please drink, like, or subscribe, or just check back in, and I'll make more of these, okay? See ya.